Good morning. So today we're in Harrisonburg, and I thought take a minute to walk around town.
I bet you don't recognize me.
Oh, he got a haircut yesterday. Oh. So I was watching Hometown the other night, Hometown Takeover, and they were talking about the history of cities and towns and how it's hard to read the story. Sometimes. But Harrisonburg is a special case. It's really easy to read the history here. So I'm going to go point out some things that are easy to read and some things that are hard to read. And it should be pretty fun, I think. What do you think about history?
No.
What do you think about history?
No.
No. Right. All right, let's go check things out. Ready? Let's do this.
Sure.
So here in Court Square, this is the old courthouse, not the oldest courthouse that's ever been here. And if you look down right here,
We can already tell.
a cool plaque.
And then my foot in the white road.
Thanks for the end.
The whole entire.
So it kind of tells you,
Did you still see the whole
You know,
entire void?
this is where Harrisonburg
Did you already
started.
film the whole entire void?
And then the Thomas Harrison thing, which
we've been
nobody really
here.
knows if it's true or false
Come
or
on,
whatever it
we've
is.
been here. We've been
But
here.
Anyway,
Daddy, we've been here.
so downtown started here.
Hey, what a We've been here. We walked this way.
And
I'm really going.
pretty much all of Harrisonburg extended out from here. Because, you know,
Oh, what is
why not?
Eh.
Don't put your hands in it.
Why is there water anyway? And I'm so
What does that say?
I don't know.
Do not drink the water.
Just touch it.
Don't. I don't even. Should you even do that?
Why are we doing the same thing over and over again?
So things were good downtown until about the 60s. When an event happened that changed everything down here. So these three buildings here are not the original three buildings.
Yellow jacket.
These have been replaced by
Daddy, I
these
saw a yellow jacket.
junky things. I can't stand them. I like the buildings that were here that were built by the turn of the century. They were beautiful. I don't know why they got torn down.
Daddy, I
What they
saw a
did.
yellow jacket.
And look at that. It's just stacked bond. Oh god, it's so
Daddy, I
hideous.
saw a yellow jacket.
And if you notice that big gap over there,
And you know
There was once a theater there.
Yellow jacket.
the Virginia Theater stood right there where that big hole was.
Hey, I walked this way back.
So that stacked bond, see that?
I
It's
walked
just one
this-
brick stacked on top of the other.
I
It's
walked this
hideous.
way to.
And then
back to
if you
school.
look at this,
I walked that way back to school. Daddy, I walked that way back to school.
yeah, if you look at that, you're never supposed to see that. That's supposed to be an interior wall. But because the Virginia Theater was torn down, now you see that interior wall. It's look. Here's another way you can tell that there were buildings here before these buildings. If you look up at the tall building, right there where the bricks, the white, yellow, whatever, beige bricks are, they end. That's because there was another building there. A building that's been erased from existence. And of course, this is where the old Justice Lunch was, but it's gone now. And there was a store here when we moved here, but now it's the OG smoke shop. I can't tell you how I feel about vape shops. And here on Main Street, we've got some interesting buildings and some decent shops and stuff, but I mean,
Juggle! Moon
Hey, doggy. Hey, Conchu is gone.
Oh, somebody talking country.
There's an eyeball wearing a helmet with horns.
That's the world's biggest eyeball. That's the most biggest eyeball in the world. Flamingo.
And like I was saying,
Can we go into the children's museum?
no, it's not open
Can
right
we
now.
check out the cat?
Yeah, Finn.
Yeah.
So we've got some.
Well, now look at me.
Hit it. So we've got some interesting stores and stuff along Main Street, but I don't think it's anything like what it was in the past. There's reason. The Oasis right here. This used to be a drugstore. And of course, Jimmy Madison's used to be Dave's Taverna, and before that, I think it was the Elbow Room. I might be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure Jimmy Madison's was the Elbow Room. It's like kind of a bar. And Bonnie Raitt actually played there one time. Finn is looking for the cats. There's two right there, Finn.
What is he looking at me for?
But a lot of these buildings along Main
What are I supposed to
are 20th century. So what happened before then? Well, we'll find out in just a minute. Check out this new mural at the Explore More Discovery Museum. Pretty awesome. And if you were in Harrisonburg in the 1800s, downtown probably looked a lot more like the Hardesty Higgins house than it does today. Or like it did in the 1900s or in the 60s
White.
before the big event
White
happened.
old. I know where Thomas Jefferson is. He does Hamilton songs. Why, Daddy?
Thomas Jefferson does Hamilton songs?
Yeah, some of them.
Some of them?
Yeah, you know.
Is that what he did?
He does music.
Thomas Jefferson was just in Hamilton?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what we were trying to quote.
Thomas Harrison. So this stone building in front of us is the Thomas Harrison house. And for the longest time, we thought that it had something to do with Thomas Harrison, but it doesn't look like it. Now it looks like it has more to do with the Hardesty Higgins house across the street than it does the Thomas Harrison house. History changes as people study it, you know. Learn more, which is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to learn more about everything. So we've got new murals showing up all over town. Here's one.
That definitely looks like my art.
You think your art teacher did it?
Yeah, because it looks like it. It looks like her hair, and it looks like her dad.
Ah.
Ha, 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 ha.
And this is a beautiful building, but there's nothing in it. And that's a shame. So is the building next to it. It's a beautiful building, but there's nothing in it. Looks like they're trying to get something going in there, but it looks like they've been trying to get something going in there for quite some time. And in front of us is the Harrisonburg City Public School building, which used to be the Nays department store, which is what a lot of the buildings around Court Square were, department stores, because that's what we used to do before the incident. And as you can see, the Nays department store was pretty daggone big. It stretched for a long ways. We used to have department stores that weren't in malls. So right here where the public safety building is, this used to be the Kavanaugh Hotel. And it used to have a downstairs which had a restaurant in it. And from the postcards I've seen, it used to be a pretty nice place. And it must have done pretty good business. Because this white building here that's been recently renovated, the Kavanaugh Lofts,
What kind of board
is the
that?
annex.
What kind of board is that?
That's a pigeon.
Pigeon. Yeah, little
And that used to be connected to the main Kavanaugh Hotel by a walkway, which you can kind of see if you look at there's two tiny windows, and then there's that one window, and then there should be a window below it, but there's not. There's just a kind of a square.
Daddy?
And that was the walkway that connected the two pieces of the Kavanaugh Hotel.
Hey, Daddy?
The annex to the hotel, and then you'd use to walk back there or drive through there to park your car in the lot. The florist has been a florist and a dry cleaners, I believe, at one time, and then the Golden Pony was the Blue Nile and a hotel at one time. And of course, this vape shop, a second one, was a clothing store, and before that, like a while back, this is the second location of the Muhlenberg United Methodist Church. How can you tell this is a church? Well, I don't know. Lots of research. But you can also take a look at the side of the building. If you look at the side of this building, you can see the brick changes. There's different paint and different brick. And those brick, where the brick is different, used to be where the windows were. And they're very large windows, kind of like you might see on the church. It's Muhlenberg's second location right there. How you can tell that the florist was a dry cleaners. There's still a ghost sign there. Cleaning works, clothing pressed while you wait.
I do not know. Oh my!
This is Black's Run. It's a pretty terrible name. It used to be pretty polluted. It still
Daddy,
gets
there's a cobweb.
like toxic.
I saw a cobweb with a spider.
Part of the
right
reason for
in
that
it.
is because it withstood in this corner. Right here in this little pocket park.
When we get
Come on, Fan. Which has some amazing flowers and stuff growing in it. This used to be a laundromat, I believe, or a tannery. I can't remember which one. But they used to dump a bunch of chemicals in the Black's Run, and they made it all kinds of toxic and terrible. At least that's the story I heard.
Give me a pet bee.
And it smells good in here.
And nobody can give me flowers because I'm scared of flowers. Now you have
But
one
now
pet.
it's a pretty cool little pocket park. And there's regular cleanups of Black's Run. And I don't think the water has anywhere near the toxicity that it once did.
Hey, Daddy.
But how does that... I know all this. But how would you know this if you were just coming into town and interested in its history? Well, I don't know. But I figured, why not tell all this stuff
Hey, Daddy.
while we're going over the big history, the big picture. Downtown was a very different place than it is now. Very, very different place. And there's a reason why. Here's another thing. Route 11 southbound, known as Liberty Street, was once known as Germany Street or German Street
I feel
until
like I'm gonna go to sleep.
World War I.
Daddy,
And then it was changed because nobody liked those Germans. So, Liberty Street. And right across the street here, this was all where you'd board trains, because this is the Union Station and the Wetzels. So this is Court Square Theater, the back side of it. It's also part of the Rockingham Motor Company,
Daddy, those are jack
which I
wires.
have not done any research on.
Black jack wires.
There's the old
See,
signage
Daddy,
up
that's
there.
a black jack wire. Black jack wire.
So right here, our Capitol Ale House and
Did you give
the
it
entrance
to
to Court
Daniel?
Square. This used to be Woolworth's department store.
Did you give it to Daniel?
Pretty funny. It was a department store. It must have looked a lot different. And what, I don't know what the heck Duke's is anymore, but it used to be the Artful Dodger. And it was a shoe store at one time.
I do not know how many
It is the courthouse today. Judicial Center.
Daddy, how many
That was a Penny's. J.C. Penney's. Used to be right there. And then of course Denton's. Sold furniture and appliances and whatever. It's right there. Schul's was down here too, but I don't know where. They've cut a bunch of windows into the old Artful Dodger. So get some light in there. Some of the old Denton's signage.
Daddy, I got a wheelbarrow.
Denton's floor covering over there. And up there on the roof, Denton's. The Denton's was way before my time. I don't even know
Oh, yeah.
it was even open the first time I rolled through town. Many years ago, and they were destroying buildings over there on Main Street, probably the Virginia Theater. Yeah.
Ooh. Are those actually live snakes?
No, this is artwork by
I
gosh, I can't remember his name right now.
I know those.
And that's artwork by the
the
interdimensional artist Goofcraft. You can find him on Instagram. He's amazing. He does amazing stuff.
And we forget to do another.
And drives some amazing vehicles. So like I said, this is the incident. During the 50s and 60s, the interstate system was born and built. And then once that happened, everyone moved out of downtown to be more visible along the interstate. So, yeah. They left behind a bunch of abandoned buildings, empty buildings, that some places moved into. And, you know, businesses did business. Some of them just collapsed. But it forever changed downtown. And it's not just here. It's all across the country. They build up bypasses, they build interstates, they build these roads up, these big roads, and it forever changes communities and alters the fabric of the community all across the country. It happens again and again and again and again. It still happens today. I don't know about you, but I've tried to train the wind before, and no matter what I do, the wind just does not learn. Wind is not alive.
It doesn't even have ears, or mouths, or eyes, or arms.
So how do you train the wind?
You don't train the wind.
I think if you go to the wind training facility, you might be able to train the wind.
Training wind is not even possible.
Then why do they have a training facility?
They're just joking.
So then, to increase our visibility and our commerce, we created these things called malls. And remember how I said there was a JCPenney that was downtown? This is where the JCPenney is now. And just like everywhere else, our mall is kind of not so good. just like every other mall across the country. I don't know why that is. I have a lot of great memories of malls, but I'm sure my memories don't compare to anybody's memories that can remember walking the streets of Harrisonburg and walking from shop to shop downtown. I think the mall, you lose some of that, I don't know, some of that community feel. Maybe not during the 80s and 90s, because the mall was king, but I think it was great for a minute. But I think what we need to do is get back to having downtowns and small businesses. And so here's the outside of the mall. It's 10 o'clock on a Tuesday, and this is the whole crowd that's gathered here today. I don't even know if the mall actually opens until after 12 o'clock, which is just bizarre. And this was a restaurant space. I think it was called the Tilted Kilt or something like that. I can't even remember. But it was kind of like a Hooters-y thing, and it didn't last very long at all. But there, it is just dead. It is just dead. And it's sad. But this is what happened. This is the internet, the interstate, not the internet. Well, the internet's killing everything now. But the interstate came through and everything pushed out to be closer to the interstate. And downtown dried up. And it's the same story in towns all across the country.
Like, this is
Thinking about like how we had to move closer to the interstates to increase our commerce. We built hotels, the Hyatt Place, Holiday Inn Express. These are pretty new ones, but you know, hotels like that are in every city. In places like this, Barnes & Noble, Bed Bath & Beyond, which is no longer there, Michaels, Ross, Staples, Best Buy, and of course, Big Blue, Walmart, Home Depot. We can get the same experience in any city, anywhere. And Express, which used to be Ruby Tuesdays. But we can get this experience in any city, anywhere. The same experience. It's vanilla. It doesn't compare to what was in a downtown. Like, just think. Oh yeah, we stayed in the Hyatt Place. What if you said, oh, we stayed at the Kavanaugh? It sounds a little bit better, doesn't it? When we go to Disney World, we stay in places like Old Key West, and Animal Kingdom, the Jumbo House, the Kandani Village, the
Legoland.
No. The
Lego Hotel.
Pop Century. These places inspire something. What does Kavanaugh inspire? The Kavanaugh. It's the same thing, right?
How about the Lego?
What does I stayed in the Holiday Inn Express inspire? I shopped at the Valley Mall. I went to the Lids. I'm not saying that it wouldn't be. I mean, the Lids could be downtown. Why can't the Lids be downtown? Why can't Foot Locker find a store downtown to be in? Instead, we had a mall which is falling apart. Falling apart. Businesses are drying up. We have these great big spots like this one, Barnes & Noble. I don't know how they're hanging on. Every now and then this one threatens to go out of business. I mean, Bed Bath & Beyond is gone. I mean, how soon until the rest of these places, Best Buy, I'm looking at you, dry up too? And a lot of it, I know, has to do with the Big Blue over there behind Just-in-Time Transportation. But, I mean, Big Blue put a lot of businesses out of business and continues to do so because they can get cheap products and sell them cheaply, and people want cheap products sold cheaply. But how soon until this is just a row of abandoned buildings? I don't know what was here before the Home Depot. Somebody told me once it was a bike shop. And then I saw this. Dun 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 dun. It's a motorcycle on a pole.
Huh? Where?
Unbelievable.
I can't see a motorcycle.
Isn't that awesome?
I
I don't know how much longer that's going to be there. But I saw that one day and I said, wow, that is pretty cool.
Well, yoy.
Everything we did that stripped downtowns of their businesses, we started building these wonderful strip malls everywhere. And these are also kind of going the way of the dinosaur. This one, it needs some serious updating. The parking lot needs some serious leveling. I mean, do you want to shop here? Does it look like a place you really want to shop? It's rough. But we had big ideas for this. Look, we even put all these Burger King and Taco Bell and McDonald's out in front of them. So we had big ideas for this place. But couldn't these places also be downtown? This is what I see when I talk about, you want to know the story of a town? Start downtown, work your way out. It's like an onion. Peel back the layers. History always expands outward from a downtown. The story is always told first from a downtown and then outwards. Short Pump will one day not be Short Pump. It'll be a collection of empty, falling apart, abandoned buildings. Because we will constantly be moving, looking for something new, the new thing. And you know what we could do with these? Instead of going and tearing down a farm, a forest, or something, we can tear down this place. We can really locate all of these stores into somewhere that's better. We could build affordable housing in these strip malls that are failing.
Maybe arcade, because I've never seen an arcade in our town.
Yeah, we could build something fun, like an arcade.
Do we have arcades in this town?
Yeah, there's that one that's got, I think it's like an axe throwing thing, mainly, and then it's arcade secondary.
But what if they make a hotel arcade?
Yeah.
And that's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
And you don't really have to be at the hotel, and you don't have to get any card. You can just play there. You don't really have to go in the hotel and get a room. You can just, because your house actually lives in Richmond, so we can if your house is at Richmond and you can be an arcade and a hotel, you can build it here to make all over the wood, and then some people doesn't have to even get a room when they live there, and then when they're done playing the arcade, they can just come home.
Right.
Boom. No problem.
See? He's a young entrepreneur. You should think about his ideas, and then maybe we could build a hotel arcade somewhere. I mean, that could be the wave of the future. You have the
you can take down a very old place, and you can make you can build it somewhere where nobody ever heard. If everybody seen it in this town, you can take it down and then put it somewhere else where nobody knew about it.
I mean, just think about the burgeoning popularity of esports, and if you built a hotel that had an arcade in the bottom and then some space for esports to take place. It could all be done in one building.
Or maybe you can turn it like into a
In a
house.
downtown somewhere. It would be a memorable experience. You actually put games in there and not those dumb ticket machines.
Or you can like make a hotel connected to a house, and then like an arcade connected to the house, and all kind of stuff connected.
Rethink Chuck E. Cheese. Get you some animatronics.
Yeah.
Get
Chuck E.
you the
Cheese.
Rock of Fire explosion. Put the Rock of Fire explosion. Bring them back. Put them up in a big room down there. Have some pizzas. Watch the Rock of Fire explosion play.
Chuck E. Cheese is not yummy. Not good. Not
Go spend a ton of money playing arcade games.
Yo, what if you make them free arcade games?
Well, then how are you going to make money?
You don't have
You got to make money.
You can just
Go play your esports. Go
you,
compete.
You can get money.
I'm telling you,
Like there's
Finn's
a
got an
lot-
idea. We just need to expand on it.
Because
Anybody
games-
want to fund Finn's idea?
You know, games are
Drop
not
us a line.
Guess
I'm sure you
what?
can find our
Games
email.
are not really important. You need food Food is important to survive. So you might just need to spend money on food because games are not food or important things.
Hit us up in the comments. You know, if you want to fund Finn's idea, we'll hit you up.
And do not laugh at me. I'm watching you.
So that was how we read a town. You start in the center, you move out. Think of it like an onion. You just peel back. Why?
Or a banana.
Or a banana.
Or pizza.
Think about what is
Or
there and what
pizza.
isn't there. Is there department stores downtown?
Or
No.
is
What
there-
are the department
is
stores?
there-
Way out there.
Is
Wow.
there like a hotel I told you about?
Are there hotels downtown?
Like
No.
I-
Why
like
not?
I said, like
Because
what?
they're out by the interstate.
Like you can take like all of the history down and put it somewhere else where nobody. If everybody knew about that history, you can share with somebody else.
Right? Think about what inspires you. Does Holiday Inn Express inspire you? And I'm not saying I have things against the Holiday Inn Express. I like a Holiday Inn Express.
I don't need them.
I like the Hyatt Place better.
Gigantic fish.
But when it comes to being inspired,
I only have 2 teeth now.
does the Holiday Inn Express in Harrisonburg look any different than a Holiday Inn Express in Richmond?
I'm a beaver. I'm one of the animals.
And would you rather stay in a place? I came to Harrisonburg and I stayed in Holiday Inn, or I came to Harrisonburg and I stayed in this hotel, unlike any other hotel anywhere else in any other city, called the Kavanaugh. I don't know.
The hotel I
think
said about.
the Hotel Kavanaugh sounds like a better option than
And
the
if-
Holiday Inn
If the
Express.
trucks,
It's more inspiring. It's more of a story. We should tell stories.
hey, instruction makers.
We should
You
have
to-
stories to tell about our vacations. And
Instruction makers.
I went to the Eastern Shore. We stayed in a Hampton Inn.
I need to tell them something. Hey, instruction workers. If you watch this,
I don't know, y'all.
actually build a hotel with
I didn't eat at McDonald's.
what I said about.
I ate at Archie's Diner.
But definitely not Chuck E. Cheese. We do not like Chuck E. Cheese.
I shopped with simplicity, the yellow button.
Or maybe you can
I
make.
ate at Lola Moe's.
Or you can make a arcade Chuck
I
E.
didn't
Cheese.
eat at Outback. I didn't eat at Olive Garden.
You might make an arcade.
I'm not saying
Chuck
there's
E.
anything
Cheese.
wrong with eating at Olive Garden
If you
or
make,
eating at Outback.
what if you make an arcade Chuck E. Cheese?
But isn't it a better story that I went to a different town and I ate at a different place?
Or what if we do an arcade on Chuck E. Cheese? And
So
then
that's what I think about when I think about telling the story of a town.
Can I get outside now?
Start in the
Can I
center.
go in the house?
Work your way out.
Can I go in the house now?
No, because you haven't said those two magic words.
Okay, see? Okay. I don't
Anyway,
want to say about it.
so history.
Whatever
I like history.
that stuff in. See ya!
I like
Now
thinking
you
about
know.
how a town is.
I'm going now.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that other stuff. We'll see you on the next adventure.
See ya.
Somebody really needs to get in and play Tears of the Kingdom. See ya.